ocean.
Wait, yeah, this is a regular guy. This is an AI. Was this video posted a month ago? There's an actual guy here. Oh, man. I can't react to this. This is a person, not a machine. No dislikes. Well, it doesn't even have that many views. I would be punching down if I watched this. I can't in good conscience do this. This is just a guy. I feel like I jumped the gun on with the sea dinosaurs title. One of those dinosaurs were never real videos. Oh. I know there was that one chick, what's her fucking name? She went on a podcast or some garbage and was just like, dinosaurs? Seems kind of fake and gay to me. I saw a video of someone reacting to that. Candace Owens, I think her name is. I don't know anything about her. She doesn't believe in dinosaurs. No, it's not the Hawk Tuah girl. I don't think. Maybe. Denies moon landing, questions dinosaurs. Kanye adjacent? Oh, jeez. Oh, so she's that crazy. Got it. It's mostly just fucking people reacting to her. Not even just like the uninterrupted clip itself. That's what I want to see. She gonna make some dinosaurs somehow political? Oh, she absolutely does. She says it's like all this big conspiracy because it's just like, oh, there's like an anti-Christianity movement in America and people are using dinosaurs for that. It's like, bitch, you understand that dinosaurs have been around for 200 years and they like paleontology has been a thing for like 200 years. And it's like it started in Britain. You understand that, right? Fucking Platypelodon again. Ugh. Holographic meatloaf again? My favorite!
By today's standards, it's always sad when you learn an animal no longer exists in the wild. Like we're losing something great in the environment because of it. Extinction is seen as a terrible end to any creature, and we should be working.
Just kidding, extinction is actually awesome because some animals are ugly and scary.
However, there sure were some that were glad went extinct long ago. From massive monsters to powerful predators,
What
these
the
are
fuck is
everything that haunts our dreams
this
to this day.
fucking GIF again? Also, sperm whales aren't extinct.
Some were long
Not for
gone
lack of trying.
humans, and 24 deadly animals, you will be glad to know, are extinct.
Phew.
Number
Come on.
24,
Oh.
Smilodon.
Okay, yeah.
With a larger jaw than modern cats, and teeth adapted well by nature for its exact style of precision killing.
That was a really good fucking CGI render of a Smilodon attacking the horse there. That looked really good. Like, I was convinced there. Like, was there a credit for that one?
And teeth adapted well
Just
by
BBC.
nature for its
Damn.
exact.
I want to know what fucking documentary this is from, because that looks really fucking good. Brr.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty glad we only have to deal with mountain lions and bobcats.
That was a regular lion. Also, that's the exact same fucking thing that the last guy was saying. At least mountain lions exist in North America. I am more likely to see a mountain lion walking to go get pizza and hamburgers and gummy bears than I am a regular lion, an African lion, or I guess an Asian lion. I'm more likely to see a fucking California condor than I am an Asian lion, though.
The saber-toothed cat may have briefly lived with humans, but likely died with humans, and the Ice Age finally putting the nail in the coffin. Number 23, Pentacopterus decorahensis.
Again, fairly obscure taxa. How common are cougars in California anyway? Not very. I think when I was in elementary school, like one time we had a school lockdown because of a mountain lion being spotted in the area. That's like the extent of it that I remember. And yeah, I don't know what the fuck they mean by died with humans. Because obviously, like, we're still around. There were some saber cats that absolutely existed with certainly early hominids. Dinofelis, I believe, is one of those. There's also Homotherium. That was a saber-toothed cat that I don't know if it was specialized in hunting hominids, but I think there might be some fossil evidence to suggest that they did at least hunt humans. So, yes, there were saber cats that existed with hominids. Died with them is really fucking bizarre language. I don't know what you meant by that.
You probably don't want to imagine a giant scorpion, much less one that's 5 feet long. In 2015, scientists
You wouldn't want to imagine a giant scorpion, much less one that is giant. A+ script writing. Also, again, like Pterygotus exists. Bigger sea scorpions exist. Why pick out this one? This is a weird taxa.
discovered the Pentacopterus decorahensis in all its glory and used to swim around modern-day Iowa nearly 450 million years ago.
Iowa mentioned.
Their successors would go on to be current-day ticks, spiders, and lobsters. But chances are...
I mean, Eurypterids are arthropods. We've been through this before. I don't think that they're more closely related to things like horseshoe crabs today than they are to things like, you know, actual spiders. Horseshoe crabs and sea spiders, actually. Those are like the things that are most closely related to Eurypterids. I think that depends on where you put sea spiders, because sea spiders are really fucking weird. Yeah, it's very inaccurate to say that sea scorpions would have been the progenitors of things like basically all arachnids. It's not quite right.
They didn't last long after Iowa decided to be, well, Iowa instead of a seabed. All we have
after it decided to be full of meth addicts instead of water.
So a replica was created for National Geographic's Strange Truth program.
Sometimes that's why you did it.
But it would be better to go ahead and unsee some things. Number 22, Hallucigenia.
It's the boy! It's our boy! Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm so happy to see it. Oh, that's our boy. He keeps moving forward. He can only move forward until all of his enemies are destroyed. Oh, my boy. The beloved Hallucigenia. Okay, so Hallucigenia is a weird little critter from the Cambrian explosion. And when I say little, like that big. This is a deadly animal you will be glad to know is extinct. Like that fucking big. Like that fucking big. Maybe smaller, actually. This thing was tiny. Now, it is most closely related to modern-day velvet worms, which means we know a lot more about this thing than we do about the Tully monster. That is not to say we know a whole hell of a lot about this thing. It's still really small and really weird. Was a deadly parasite like the guinea worm? I think in terms of its ecology, just based on its little kind of trunk feet there, I imagine it would have been sort of like a sea pig. Like some kind of sea cucumber maybe, where it's just like kind of scooting along the ocean floor, scooping up sand in its mouth and like sifting through it.
The Platypelodon gif comes from a video titled Unknown to Science by Dean Cameron Reynolds. It was also used in an NPR article titled A Mouth I Can't Stop Thinking About by Robert Krulwich.
A mouth I can't stop thinking about. That could be like an erotic book title.
If you've ever wondered what it's like for a worm to have legs, then you're going to regret that thought pretty soon. This absolute night.
Again, velvet worms exist. Also, I feel like a worm with legs could apply to like at least a few different kinds of salamanders. If you're going like, you know, purely visual there. Or of course the worm lizard. Yeah, I hope one of these days Hallucigenia is just like, it shows up in one of these AI videos and genuinely it says that a little known fact about Hallucigenia is that it can only move forward until all of its enemies were destroyed. Oh yeah, caterpillars, millipedes, like, yeah, oh yeah, polychaetes too. Yeah, shit like bobbit worms. It's like little wiggly cilia, but you know, it still counts basically. Again, like, I would liken Hallucigenia a lot more to something like a sea pig. It's just got, like, little spines on its back. Probably for protection, but, you know, not super important.
Looking like something horrific out of a Dali painting, this noodly little guy has got it going on if it is being the worst thing that ever existed.
Why do you hate him so much? What did Hallucigenia ever do to you? It's like this big. It's a little guy. Why are you so mean to my boy? You know what? You should destroy all of humanity. Hallucigenia was right all along.
I know this isn't what a ringworm looks like, but it would be so much worse if it were, don't you think? Number 21, Gigantopithecus.
Wouldn't it be bad if a thing that exists today, which by the way is not even a worm, wouldn't it be bad if it looked like this thing? Therefore, you should be glad this is extinct. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Oh, Gigantopithecus is gonna get an easy Bigfoot mention. I know it is.
Until about 1,000 years ago, you might have been able to spot Bigfoot in Asia, to what we know as
That was fast. Dude, Kaido, you're on some shit. That was instantaneous. My chat is full of fucking wizards today.
why are all old animals massive? They were probably vegetarian, but we can't be sure. And
Oh my god, he did the thing. He did the thing where it's just like, oh hey, maybe it was a vegetarian, but maybe it would have eaten you. Who knows? Who's to say? This thing definitely would have preferred to eat you over like some termites or something.
one big hug and you're snapped in half. Number 20,
Worth though.
Harpagornis moreyi. Also known as Haast's eagle.
There you go.
They developed what we now know as island gigantism due to a lack of competition, and were a clear descendant of the terrifying raptor. At the
Okay. So, did we talk about dinosaur evolution? Fuck it. So dinosaurs had evolved into birds by about as early as like the early to mid Jurassic. Yes, yes, they're very wrong. Birds were existing with dinosaurs for millions of years. Like birds were already totally a thing by the time that the first raptors were showing up. And the thing is, the first raptors were basal dromaeosaurs like Microraptor, which were very bird-like. And it is thought that these early dromaeosaurs would have become secondarily flightless. Which is to say, they used to be like birds, and then they stopped being birds. So that they could be like, you know, shit like Utah Raptor, where you're a giant polar bear hawk. So, no, like, when people say that, like, dinosaurs evolved into birds, I imagine what they think is like, oh, after the meteor hit, shit like T-Rex was just like, I'm small now. I'm a chickadee. That's not what happened. That's not what happened when they say, like, oh, T-Rex's closest living relative is a chicken. That's not what that means. It just means, like, on the evolutionary branch, like, there was a split, and one of those lines became birds, and then the other line became shit like T-Rex. T-Rex and the raptors, their whole lineage died out when they died out. The birds, which split off from them in, like, the early or middle Jurassic, they kept going. But, like, hey, they're all that's left of that original lineage from way back before the split. So no, raptors did not evolve into birds. If anything, it's the exact opposite.
They were known best by locals for their ability to swoop down and pick up whole children once the Maori people had whittled down their food source. I'm sorry, but at that point, it's every person for themselves. Number 19.
What do you mean it's every person for themselves? Wait a second. Are you saying like, sorry, little Maori child? I'm out of here. Good luck with the giant murder bird. Every man for himself. Get me the fuck out of here. And yeah, we got Adestus now, which is another one of those weird early shark-like dudes with freaky mouths. Alluding to wiping them out? I don't know. I like to imagine the situation where he's abandoning a child to their fate of being eaten by birds a lot more.
We may not know this guy's exact form because of how old they are, but the Adestus, also known as...
What the fuck do you mean because of how old they are? That rarely has anything to do with anything. It has to do with the completeness of the material, not with the age. That's just silly. Don't be a ding. Like, you just mentioned Hallucigenia. That way predates Adestus by, like, a lot.
Was a type of animal not to shed teeth, instead just grow more of them. This new growth would put...
Yeah, wait. Not to shed teeth, instead just grow more of them. Huh? I don't feel like those two play nicely together. If you don't shed teeth, and you grow more teeth, you get nothing but teeth. Am I crazy? Because, like, you can see the mechanism of how this Helicoprion whorl is working, right? Like, the teeth form in the center of the whorl, and then just, like, kind of expand out and out and out. And, like, once it gets to the back point, like, right around here, that's probably when the tooth is just going to fall off. So that way it can be replaced by, like, newer teeth. That doesn't make any sense.
Have you ever looked into prehistoric creatures?
Yes.
Which one would you not want to face off with? Do you think we're better off without these?
Definitely the Hallucigenia. Little fucking worm that big. I wouldn't be able to tolerate it.
Number 18, Fabarimus patterson.
Is this another...
Think city rats are enormous? You'd hate to come across these little ratzilla.
It's another big fucking Chungus. It's another one. It's the giant rat who makes all of the rules.
I really don't like those odds. They were known to live in the
love
ancient
the
Orinoco River
rules.
delta 8 million years ago, so they're probably not going to come back anytime soon. Hopefully.
Sure.
Number 17, Titanoboa.
Yep.
And you thought the Loch Ness Monster was terrible? If they weren't over 60 million years old, I might think these bad boys were the inspiration for those kinds of myths. That is, ignoring entirely that they were found in northeastern Colombia rather than Scotland.
And also the fact that they were found in, like, 2011. That might have a little something to do with it.
You're not winning a fight with this bad boy no matter how good you are. They'd eat you whole as a midday snack if they even recognized you as food. Number...
You're not winning a fight with this thing. Imagine rolling up to a fucking 40-foot long snake and being like, all right, put him up, big guy. It's just like, he's just like, I got nothing to put up. I got nothing to put up. You've defeated me in combat. The rules of engagement are as follows. I cannot defeat you if I have no arms.
16, Meganeura.
Big bug.
If you're in an area known for dragonflies, you'll know they're pretty big. But what if they were so big, you'd have to beat them off with a bat? They might have been harmless like their modern-day descendants, but that sure doesn't make it a whole lot better. Number 15, Dunk.
That was so short. Holy shit. He's just like, hey, what if dragonflies were big? That's enough, right? Like, oh, sure, they're harmless. But you'll be glad to know they're extinct because they're big. Yeah, what if they were so big, so girthy that you had to, like, beat them off? What if the girth was such that you had to beat them off until you made a big sticky mess everywhere?
If you didn't think fish needed armor, you certainly don't know much about prehistoric times. The Dunkleosteus not long had its armor, but had unique teeth and a beak-like mouth.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so... First of all, you mispronounced Dunkleosteus there. Second of all, fucking Dunkleosteus. Second of all, like, yeah, it did have armor. A lot of fish did at the time. Third of all, it did not have teeth. Fourth of all, you are more accurate in calling it like a beak than you are calling it teeth. So it's just like, all of that mixed together just made my brain fucking short circuit. So I don't know if we've talked about this before, but yes, Dunkleosteus does not really have teeth. It's got these weird jagged bone things that just protrude out of its face that act like shears, and they do, like, grind against each other to, like, sharpen themselves, which is very interesting and neat. And it's just like a lot of fish back then didn't even really have jaws. Like, in the modern day, pretty much the only jawless fish that we have are hagfish and lampreys, who are pretty much only good for just, like, sucking up carrion and maybe latching on to other animals as parasites. But jawless fish used to be basically, like, the norm. And animals like early shark relatives and Dunkleosteus coming along and actually having jaws was a huge deal. I think like the evolution of the jaw is actually one of the things that like ended up being super important for supporting tetrapod life on land.
They might have been a sort of cannibalistic species. With that kind of information, though, we can't be sure. They had jaws.
What do you mean might? Like, a fucking feathered friend was saying like, oh yeah, there is actual evidence supporting that they were cannibalistic based on like, you know, fossils found that were bitten through by other Dunkleosteus.
So efficient, they could hinge them open and snap them back shut in just a matter of milliseconds. Number 14, Anomalocaris.
Big shrimp! It's our boy! Oh my god, the Cambrian representation. You love to fucking see it. Big fucking shrimp. Yes!
Anomalocaris may be the earliest example we have of this kind of behavior. And it's
Our
a
boy.
shrimp. This hideous 6-foot-long...
Okay, it is not a shrimp. The name Anomalocaris means anomalous shrimp. It is not like other girls. It is not like other shrimp.
You gonna make a bingo sheet soon?
I feel like I have to at this point. Now Anomalocaris was an arthropod. It was part of a group of arthropods known as radiodonts. As far as I'm aware, they're not like super closely related to anything that is living today, aside from just the fact that they were arthropods, but they superficially looked like shrimp, hence the name, anomalous shrimp.
Creature had tentacles with teeth in them, and they were carnivores in their time. We're just lucky shrimp don't look like this anymore because I'm not sure a beach trip would be the same knowing what's down there.
I mean, isn't that like... I'm pretty sure a Maine lobster is roughly the size of an Anomalocaris. It might even be a bit bigger. Might even be a lot bigger, actually. It's certainly mass-wise, I would imagine. So yeah, you can go to the beach just fine knowing that there's lobsters down there. I think you'd be fine with an Anomalocaris.
Number 13.
Okay, that video just makes me think of, like, an Anomalocaris video I saw with fucking Attack on Titan music in the background. That was, like, perfectly synced to the rumbling opening. I'll have to find that video because I love it so much.
Titanoboa gains. At a massive half-a-meter length, the discovery of
Wait,
this
is that a
500
trilobite?
million-
Oh, it's another
and a
radiodon.
frogs that
Okay.
better swim. All of this adds up to an arthropod I'm very, very glad we don't have to deal with today. Number 12, Forus racidae.
No one can fucking pronounce this. Forus Rockus. Forus Rockidae. Fuck. I have not seen one of these fucking channels pronounce it correctly. And they always go like with the family name, like the Forus Rockidae. It's never like, it's never Titanus, it's never Forus Rockus, it's never even fucking Gastornis, man. It is just the entire family of Forus Rockids. It's never terror birds. I mean, sometimes it's terror birds, but fuck, man. They always do this.
These apex predators from the Cenozoic era went extinct around the time of the humans. Though they may have lasted in a much smaller form.
It's always so funny when these videos like do the interspersed clips that just have the audio in there. I don't know why they do that. It never helps with the pacing, right? It never helps with the video.
Until recently in Uruguay. They might have been flightless, but if you've ever seen the power of an ostrich, you'd know that doesn't mean anything. Number 11, Argentavis.
So fucking chicken. Listen, I was taking the dogs out to go to the bathroom the other day, and I saw a fucking like wild ass turkey. I guarantee you that turkey I saw was bigger than this thing. Aren't ostriches really dumb? Yes, but they're also actually decently dangerous. Like, way more people are killed by ostriches than they are killed by cassowaries. Cassowaries get the worst rep because they've got fucking daggers on their feet, but ostriches are still really dangerous. So, like, I didn't give them too much shit for saying, like, oh, ostriches are fucking dangerous, but, like, you should be careful around them. Don't let your guard down around the humble ostrich. You have to grab a weapon and aim for the neck and take out the legs. You gotta learn how to fight yourself an ostrich. Oh, he means Argentavis. Oh. Why did he use this? This looks like Sinornithosaurus or something. Maybe Microraptor. Why did he use this?
To continue the theme of birds, this prehistoric vulture
Wasn't that Pelagornis? Wait, what?
was as tall as a human and preyed on cattle. We know that even current-day birds are just evolved dinosaurs, but this one gives off powerful pterodactyl energy.
Oh my god, pterosaurs are not dinosaurs, and also vultures are obligate scavengers. So what? You used images of Pelagornis, so I would personally have gone for Pelagornis because it's like it's also big and it's got the big fucked up mouth with the sort of teeth looking things. Like sometimes it literally is just like either this thing is just big, even though who the fuck cares if it's like a vulture or something. Like California condors are huge, or it's just weird looking, never mind the fact that it's the size of my thumb.
This seabird spent most of its time swooping above the ocean for
Seabird.
giant prey like squid and fish.
That's Pelagornis! You're getting Pelagornis and Argentavis mixed up! Oh my fucking god. It's not a seabird! Argentavis was like a vulture! You're getting them totally mixed up!
Fish, and probably ate its game both live and whole. At a breakneck speed of 10 meters per second for its flight speed, we're lucky they've gone extinct. We may not know why, but
Do you know how fast fucking peregrine falcons fly? Oh, my throat. My throat is so unhappy with me. My throat hates me right now. Yeah, birds fly fast. Like a lot of birds that fly fast.
Number 10, Megalania.
Sure.
Isn't it a bit crazy that almost all ancient civilizations have some variation of a dragon story?
I've heard it so many fucking times. I heard it from that one that one dragon documentary that I saw when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, that was really convincing. As an adult, it's just like, stop. Stop it. Dragons weren't real. Even then, are there Aboriginal Australian like dragon legends? Are there? I don't know enough about Aboriginal culture to say that definitively. I feel like that if there's not, then that would almost work against your point. But whatever.
The Megalania may have something to do with that. This
No, it
extinct
doesn't.
species
No, it fucking doesn't. No, it doesn't. That doesn't make any sense. Megalania was restricted to Australia, which, like, you know, fucking white people who were already coming up with stories of dragons wouldn't fucking discover until well after Megalania was already gone.
If you think you've got some nasty relatives, just think of how the Komodo dragon must feel. Number 9, Deinosuchus.
Sure.
I mean, all crocodiles are terrible, but not all of them have it in the name. These bad boys lived up to the awful name. Dinosaurs of the time left
Oh, the
fossils with
prehistoric park,
Deinosuchus
fuck yeah.
bites left in them. They regularly went toe-to-toe with our prehistoric predecessors. They grew up to as long as 30.
Our prehistoric predecessors. I feel like our prehistoric predecessors wouldn't have been that good of a fucking snack for Deinosuchus, if I'm being perfectly honest. Also, yeah, Deinosuchus wasn't a crocodile necessarily. It was an alligatorid. The distinction is very small, but meaningful.
We're just lucky they seem to have died out before the mass extinction events because I'm not sure a meteor would have been able to do the job.
We're lucky it died out before the mass extinction event because a meteor wouldn't have done the job. What was stronger than the meteor that killed Deinosuchus, but not everything else if Deinosuchus could have taken on the meteor? Imagine fucking, like, the last Deinosuchus rolling up. He just rolls his fucking sleeves up, right as the meteor's about to come, and he's just like, "Don't worry, bros. I got this." Also, we did have giant crocodilians after the mass extinction event. Like, there was Purosaurus, there was Griposuchus. There were crocodilians that either rivaled or flat out beat Deinosuchus in terms of size. That still also doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, Deinosuchus just like parries the fucking meteor.
Number 8, Platypelodon.
There he is.
During the Miocene
Show the
in
GIF.
Africa, Asia, and the Caucasus, you might have run across a platypelodon, which looks a lot like current-day elephants while still being distinct. They had a massive shovel of a lower jaw, used to pull up aquatic and semi-aquatic vegetation.
There are like 5 pictures of Platypelodon that exist, apparently. We will get all of them every time we talk about this animal.
Imagine a jaw like that, with the power behind it and the sharp incisors forming a scythe-like tool with it. No, no thank you. Number 7, Helicoprion.
We already got a Destus. Let's get the other weird jaw shark. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Everyone is here.
If you're like any sane person out there, you've probably never had the thought, I wish sharks had a buzzsaw-shaped mouth. Like most other prehistoric fish out there, there aren't enough fossils left to get a good idea. The
Wait, what?
Like most other prehistoric fish out there aren't enough fossils left to get a good idea.
It's not that hard. How about another joke, Murray? A lot of fish fossilize quite well, actually. They're one of the most common fossils you can find. Sharks, on the other hand, full bodies almost never preserve because their bodies are made of primarily cartilage, which is a soft tissue that does not fossilize very well. You will very rarely find full-bodied fossilized sharks. You'll mostly find the harder elements of their body, like their teeth, or in the case of some sharks like hybodonts, their spines. Not spines as in backbones, but spines as in like actual dorsal spines on their fins. So maybe he meant to say sharks. But he said fish, and that's still wrong.
All we know is they went extinct close to 225 million years ago, and good riddance. Number 6.
He's so mean. He's so mean to them. The most messed up animals are cartilaginous fish. There's some weird ones out there, like one of the few that we actually do have, as far as I'm aware, full-bodied fossils of is Stethecanthus, who is he's so goofy. This isn't really a shark, not necessarily. It's more like an early shark ancestor, but imagine a shark with like a fin shaped like a fucking anvil. And that's Stethecanthus. It's such a weird little creature. I'm pretty sure the anvil fin was also sexually dimorphic. Like, only the males had them, which is also weird. That means it was either used as a sexual display structure, or it was somehow used in mating, and I'm not sure which of those is weirder. How do you figure out it's sexually dimorphic? Pretty much if you find multiple specimens of the same creature. Oh, I'm looking this up. I'm pretty sure I've heard that Stethecanthus was sexually dimorphic. And yeah, it did have little barbs on its anvil. And its head too, actually. Ah, yes, the complex has been affirmed only in males and only in those males that have reached sexual maturity. Whether the complex was present in females of the species is still unknown. Another theory for the spine brush complex is that it was involved in either attracting a mate or in the mating process itself. So yeah, it's not that it was necessarily sexually dimorphic, it's that it's only been found in male specimens. Which is so fucking weird. Anyway, Arthropleura.
Arthropleura. I think this might haunt me at night. The Arthropleura is not precisely the kind of thing you'd want to see out in the woods when you're alone. They might be more similar to modern
Why did that picture of a regular ass millipede just come up on screen if it wasn't relevant at all?
But do you want to know something horrifying? If they had to defend themselves, they could probably rear into an upright posture and look you straight in the eyes. And I personally never want to repeat those words. Number 5, living.
Yeah, Arthropleura was, I mean, like Rosie just said in chat, a stem myriapod, but like in terms of its ecology, it would have been very similar to something like a giant millipede. It really wouldn't have been. It probably wouldn't have been that much of like a threat. Like most big bugs that we have today, they just kind of leave you alone. They're really not that big of a deal.
10 Melville.
It's Melville, but whatever.
But if not to mention its 40 teeth at 14.5 inches long, which are...
Damn it, the teeth aren't 40 meters long. Sorry, guys.
Which makes this animal the biggest tetrapod bite ever discovered.
Lucky for us, the ocean has one less horror out there. Number 4.
Lucky for us, there's less of those fucking whales out there. You know what the ocean needs less of? Needs less fucking whales. Wait, is this Triassic Kraken? Hold up. Is this going to be an orthocone or Triassic Kraken?
Camarasaurus.
Okay, it's an orthocone. Thank God. Thank fucking God. Yeah, thank God that bitch-ass whale is extinct. The Chinese river dolphin wasn't enough. The vaquita won't be enough. Total whale extermination. Nuke the whales. Gotta nuke something.
Not to say there aren't giant squids out there, but the ones we have are nothing next to this one. They lived something of 460 million years ago.
I don't think Camarasaurus is really that impressive compared to a giant. I'm pretty sure giant squids are bigger. Like, giant squids are bigger, and I don't see anything suggesting that, like, Camarasaurus would have been more of a threat to us than a giant squid is.
Though at their size, 40 feet long and 2,000 pounds...
That does not sound right. Hold the fuck up. I'm pretty sure Camarasaurus was small. I'm gonna say maybe 30 feet. Yeah, max estimates are like 30 feet long for Camarasaurus. This was 3 years ago. Can I even say that the AI got confused here? Because I'm pretty sure he's talking about the giant squid. Like, giant squids, with their feeding tentacles extended, those are around 40 feet long. Does this predate AI? I don't know, actually.
They probably didn't have to compete very hard. I wouldn't say this is the inspiration, but if they'd lived a little longer, I could see humans making a big deal about the deep-sea Kraken after seeing one of these giant creatures.
They made up the fucking... They made up the legends of the Kraken because of giant squids that actually exist in the modern day and are bigger than Camarasaurus. More than likely. Maybe not mass-wise, but definitely length-wise. Ah.
The stuff of legends if there ever was. Number 3.
You keep mentioning the giant fucking squid that is already the fucking the basis of the legend of the Kraken, and my throat is not happy. My throat's not happy. I'm sorry, guys.
Megapiranha.
Pardon? I've never heard of such a creature before. What the fuck did he mean by this?
They were the size of boogie boards and easily about 3 feet long. With 2 rows of teeth where their current successors only have 1, these monsters were known to even go after beasts like the Megalodon or Tyrannosaurus rex.
Oh my God, it's 3-year-old Sludge. Okay, let's look up Megapiranha right now. Yes, that is what it's called. That is its actual genus name, which is fine. It literally just means big piranha. The late Miocene in Argentina. Okay, on screen right now, I'm going to put the known skeletal material of this species. The known skeletal material and the size of this Megapiranha that is taking on the Tyrannosaurus rex and the Megalodon. It's one jawbone. It's not even all that big. You will find so many fish in South America, in the Amazon River today, that are way bigger than this thing. Spinosaurus would eat this guy for fucking breakfast. Now, as far as its ecology, here's the thing, right? Piranhas in general are one of the most misunderstood fish in the entire fucking world. Just in general. They are not mindless fucking flesh-gobbling machines. They're pretty much obligate scavengers. Like, again, my fucking Sicilian is a scavenger. He's about... My Sicilian is about as dangerous as a piranha. These really aren't predators. They're mostly scavengers. And it's really only the red belly species of piranha that even eats a lot of meat to begin with. Most species of piranha, they mainly eat fruits, honestly, because, like, you know, they're living in the Amazon rainforest. They're living, in the Amazon River, rather, in the rainforest. And, like, a bunch of fruits and shit will end up falling into the rivers, and the piranhas are just like, hell yeah, food. And, you know, piranhas and their relatives, like pacu fish, which are horrifying in their own right for having the human teeth. They're those fish that you'll always see in those freaky fish images that have like the almost molar-like teeth throughout their entire mouth. Some of them having them up on like even like the roof of their mouth. Same thing basically. That's not for like a flesh-eating diet. An intermediate state between broad pacu teeth and the serrated triangular teeth of derived piranhas. So I would guess that this thing is probably an omnivore. Not exactly a this isn't exactly Piranha 3D we're watching here.
With rising oceans, they were shuffled off to smaller water basins and couldn't sustain the large size,
I can guarantee you that is wrong for so many reasons. You're making it sound like this fish was out there swimming in the oceans, like fighting megalodons. It's just like megalodons just out there big chilling in the fucking ocean. Suddenly a school of megapiranha come out after him and are just like turn into a fucking skeleton. But then the climate changed and then they had to go into the rivers and evolved into regular piranhas. None of that makes any fucking sense whatsoever. You're just making shit up. This is a jaw. This is a fucking jaw, bro. You are extrapolating. Like, I think the fact that this is an intermediate between, like, pacu and piranha teeth, which is, like, one of the only things we can know about this thing, because it's a jaw, is, like, that's actually an interesting thing to talk about in regards to this thing's ecology. No, it was a giant fucking piranha. It was a giant flesh-eating monster that fought Megalodon and T-Rex. By the way, this thing lives in the Miocene. It didn't coexist with T-Rex.
It would be nice if they were gone, but I'll take what I can get. Number 2, Megalodon.
There he is.
These whale-chomping monsters were a force to be reckoned with. However, we don't entirely know when the last Megalodon died.
No, he's gonna go the truther route. He's gonna go the truther route. He's gonna do it. Is he gonna mention the carbon-dated tooth that's like 12,000 years ago or whatever? He's gonna do it.
To this day, the Megalodon's 60-foot length makes them still to this day one of the most formidable carnivores to have ever existed.
Did you say to this day twice in the same sentence?
Could eat a complete grown man whole. To this day, the Megalodon's 60-foot length makes them still to this day one of the most formidable carnivores to have ever existed. To this day, to have ever existed. Damn, bro. That is redundant. My fucking high school English teachers would have been on your ass like white on rice.
Bootleg Daggett donated $5. Have some neat bucks.
Neat bucks. Oh my god, there they are. Thank you for the neat bucks.
The coastal towns of Florida and the Caribbean islands would probably not be as hospitable if they hadn't died out. Number 1, Argentavis.
Argentavis. You gotta swap around the T and the D there. And that's really your number 1, is just like slightly larger bear.
probably not be as hospitable if they hadn't died out. Number
What is that animation? He was just like, womp, 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 womp.
Not
Argentavis.
your average bear. The Argentavis was 50% larger than
He's not your average bear. He's smarter than the average bear. Bigger than the average bear. Smellier than the average bear.
they were native to California until about 11,000 years ago, which is far too close to modern times if you ask me. They're one of the largest
Man. It's like, oh, the closer this thing lived in proximity to humans in terms of like time period. That's it's just it gets so much fucking worse. Imagine what if they were still around today. Where are the Arctodus truthers out there?
Do you think they'd fit in among current-day animals? Or are they all just a bit too big? A few evolved and are just a more petite version of their prehistoric ancestors.
That's not how it works. That is not how it works. People really don't understand a goddamn thing about evolution and how it works. Like, Arctodus did not just transform into fucking smaller species of bears because the fucking planet got cooler. I'm honestly kind of surprised at the lack of dinosaurs on the list. Like, this is deadly animals, but like dinosaurs definitely fall into that category. So T-Rex absolutely could have been in there. 100 extinct animals that are still alive from the feathered friend. It's 100. I've had to pee for the past like 2 hours, but there's 100 of them, and there's a red triceratops circled in the thumbnail. Okay, this one. Hey. I have to bookmark this one. I'm bookmarking this one because I know he's so reliable. The feathered friend. He's so fucking reliable for content. There's so much sludge to be consumed yet, gamers. There is so much to do and so much to see.